campaigners who organised the world's first dad strike this summer are demanding reform.
So the European average is dads and non-birthing parents get 8 weeks at 100% of earnings. We think in the UK, obviously it's a challenging moment for the country, but 6 weeks at 90% of earnings would be a real start. That would mean most dads get a chance to really be there for their partners, really be there for their kids, and bond with their babies in those important early weeks.
In London, these dads showed me just how beneficial staying home for longer can be.
I was able to not only bond more with my son, but actually be a better partner for my wife. It wasn't the case that she suddenly had to switch back into full-time carer mode while she was still recovering. I think people underestimate just how much of a serious medical procedure childbirth is.
There wasn't much information, no signposting for me as a man. I ended up taking those 2 weeks, feeling it wasn't enough. My partner was recovering. It was really challenging. I feel like I missed out on so many memories that I didn't have the chance to be part of. I wasn't able to be that support that I wanted to be, and I didn't get that chance to really be a caregiver.
The government is currently reviewing parental leave, so I asked one of the new ministers in charge if changes are expected.
I think we've got a good system of support for families. We'll always look at it, but any benefit changes, of course, have to be affordable.
But do you think the government could be more generous for new dads?
Well, anything that is more generous has to be paid for. It has to be considered alongside other priorities like the NHS, like defence, like everything else.
Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who himself took extended parental leave earlier in his career, has said he wants the system to deliver for all working parents and that it's currently unfair on dads. But the review won't conclude until January 2027, so it'll be at least 15 months or 5 trimesters before the birth of any changes. Lewis Dennison, ITV News.
And to find out more on that story and extended interviews, head over to our website, itv.com/news. Now some breaking news, and in the last few minutes, Prince Andrew has announced that he will no longer use his royal title or the honours which have been conferred on him. In a statement, he said continued allegations against him were distracting from the work of the King. Our royal editor, Chris Schiff, is here to talk about this. Chris, this is a major development. What's the statement say?
Yes, we said, didn't we, 20 minutes ago, that a statement was perhaps imminent. We have now had that statement from Buckingham Palace. Interestingly, it has come from the palace, even though they haven't acted on behalf of Prince Andrew for some considerable time now. So let me just read it to you. This is a statement by Prince Andrew. It starts, in discussion with the King and my immediate and wider family, we have concluded the continued accusations about me distract from the work of His Majesty and the royal family. I've decided, as I always have, writes Prince Andrew, to put my duty to my family and my country first. I stand by my decision 5 years ago to stand back from public life. This is the key bit. With His Majesty's agreement, we feel I now must go a step further. I will therefore no longer use my title or the honours which have been conferred upon me. As I said previously, I vigorously deny the accusations against me. End of statement.
As you say, that crucial part there, with His Majesty's agreement. Is this something the King was pushing for?
Well, look, there were 2 options open to Prince Andrew here, particularly after we've had some news developments in the last couple of weeks. One, accusations that he sent emails to Jeffrey Epstein, keeping in touch with him, even after he'd said in that disastrous newsletter interview that he'd ceased contact. We've also got, in a couple of days, the publication of a book by his main accuser, a posthumous memoir, effectively, from Virginia Giuffre. I'm told the King is glad of this outcome. I think, in other words, they sat Prince Andrew down and they said, if you don't agree to do this voluntarily, we'll agree that the government go ahead with legislation to remove your Duke title from you. And as for his knighthood under the Order of the Garter, which said earlier, that's the highest one that there is, it was agreed that he should give it up rather than have it ripped off him, effectively.
How will this potentially impact other members of the royal family, though, Chris?
Okay, well, not strictly members of the royal family. Let's talk about Sarah Ferguson. She does sometimes, on her social media at least, go by Sarah the Duchess. Basically, she's removing Duchess from everything, and as I've been told, well, effectively, she says Sarah Ferguson on her books, and in her professional life that will now continue. In other words, you won't see the word Duchess anywhere else. What does it do about their children? I think a lot of people have got sympathy for Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie. no change to them, so they will still be welcome at family events. Crucially, we're told Prince Andrew isn't welcome at Christmas at Sandringham this year, just as he wasn't last year because of other allegations about Chinese spies. But look, he remains a prince. A lot of people might ask this question: why is he a prince if he's not a duke? He remains a prince because he was born a prince. He was the second son of Queen Elizabeth II, and that remains, but no longer Duke of York, no longer a knight.
And it remains to be said that Prince Andrew refutes all the allegations.
Yes,
So
as he said in that
nothing's
statement,
changed there.
vigorously denying the allegations, and he's never been convicted in a court of law. He did, however, settle out of court with his accuser.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. We'll have plenty more to discuss about where the royal family can go from here, of course. Let's just bring you some of the other news, breaking news, and news that's happening this evening. Right now, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is at the White House for his third visit with President Trump this year. He's expected to press him to give his country long-range Tomahawk missiles to help them end the war with Russia.
Again, my congratulations with your successful ceasefire in the Middle East.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you did it. And I think this is momentum to finish Russia's war against Ukraine. I'm confident that with your help, we can stop this war.
The government here tonight said it will do everything in its power to overturn a ban on fans of Israeli side Maccabi Tel Aviv from attending next month's Europa League match against Aston Villa. Men who have a gene mutation which puts them at high risk of getting prostate cancer should be screened every year. That's a recommendation from scientists who say men who carry the BRCA variants are more likely to get the cancer at an earlier age. They want routine screening for those affected from the age of 40. Our correspondent Rachel Townsend reports.
At the age of 63, Tony McHale was diagnosed with prostate cancer. After radiotherapy, he's now clear of the disease, but still needs regular medication.
Well, I was absolutely shocked because I didn't have any symptoms. That was the thing. You know, you assume there's going to be some sort of reaction in your body that you're going to notice, and you're going to go, oh wow, that's not correct, or that's wrong, I better get it checked out. That wasn't the case at all.
Tony had the BRCA2 and scientists say men with BRCA1 or 2 mutations are more likely to develop